Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 4 in the book of John, the Gospel of John. Today I'm going to talk about delivering the message of the golf swing with a fun story. Now, we're going to be walking through the Gospel of John. We've just started. We're actually on just verse 6 today of chapter 1. And already there's been these big themes. It starts big. In the beginning, there's claims of God's deity. God takes credit for creation. He says he's the giver and he's the source of life. And he's interjecting light into darkness and eventually victory over good and evil. That's just in the first 5 verses. And ultimately, the darkness isn't going to be able to hold a candle to the light. So let me read from verse 6 now, and we're going to talk about people, humanity. A man interjects into this great themes. Verse 6, there was a man sent from God whose name was John. John the Baptist he's referring to. He came as a witness, to bear witness about the light, that all might believe through him. He was not the light, but he came to bear witness about the light. So I'm repeatedly surprised in the Bible at God's favorable and patient and kind interaction with mankind. God has been good to men and women so far throughout. We just finished Genesis, the Old Testament, Eve and Noah and Joseph and David, and even the knuckleheads in Genesis, which is almost everybody. God is kind to them. Remember Adam's problem as he sat on planet loneliness or aloneness, and God sent Eve. And then man basically lives on planet rebellion, and God is going to send his son so that he can be the perfect Savior, the perfect example, and the perfect sacrifice. But first, he's going to send a regular man. He's going to send a regular man, John the Baptist, as a witness. And he asks him to bear witness to the biggest coming wonder, light conquering goodness and evil. Then he asks the man to participate with the hardest thing in the world, which is to change people's minds. You know that. So that this regular man will work towards a goal that all people might believe. Everybody, every nation, every people group, every family member, every knucklehead around him. Now, I know the theology that only God can make believers, and only God can ultimately draw people unto himself. John 6:44 says, no one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draw him. And yet he sends a man, flesh and blood, just like you and me. He asks humans to be involved in making this argument, making pies of hospitality, becoming winsome witnesses, being faithful in marriages, all these things that give witness about the light bashing into darkness. All right, so here's my story for today. Many years ago, I found myself in a discussion around a kitchen table with Tom Lehman. Now, Tom Lehman is a well-known, famous, accomplished professional golfer. Had a long career in the PGA and many other junior tours in the golf world, and ultimately he won the British Open. So he was the real deal. And I used to golf, and he was speaking one day about the golf swing and about the way to deliver power to a golf ball, which is ultimately what it's all about. Now, it's an extraordinarily difficult thing for any of you who have ever tried it. It's exceptionally hard to do it exceptionally well, and Tom was the best of the best. And he said about the golf swing, and I quote, the hands, they deliver the message to the golf ball, but the legs, they are the message. So similarly, Jesus is the real message that we're all about. He's the meat of the story. He's the legs. But in our passage today, Jesus asks a man, and you and me later, to be the hands of this message. Be the hands that deliver the message of Jesus. So Tom Lehman's goal was to hit a golf ball powerfully. And our goal is to do something similarly difficult that all may believe. Believing, moving people to faith. Well, here's the secret. This belief is one of the themes, the big theme of the Gospel of John. In fact, the author, John, tells us at the end in chapter 20, verse 30, now Jesus did many other things in the presence of his disciples which are not written in this book, but these are written so that you may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name. So belief is the big theme of John. Now, relax. I understand that God is doing the heavy lifting. He's the one that's drawing people to himself. But here's the crazy part that I think today's passage emphasizes. He asks John the Baptist and us to participate and be faithful. And so how does he do this? He asks us to bear witness. How? Well, first, he asks John to witness all the stuff about Jesus himself. So John, witness yourself, and then John, be a witness. Be a witness of what? Well, what you witness yourself, be a witness of that. So here's the teaching point. First, witness yourself, watch yourself, experience, pay attention, study, devote yourself to this, and then bear witness to others. Of what? Of what you witnessed first. So our goal is to witness to greatness ultimately, but first, let's witness to ourselves. Witness ourselves first, and then bear witness second. In a sense, it starts with a selfish ask. Let me see you, God. Let me witness you. I want you. So it's not inappropriate to ask God, show me yourself. Show me your ways. Show me your glory. I want to see you in this book of John. So let's start there. And then help me to bear witness, carry the witness, deliver the message of the golf swing, so to speak, to others around me. Ultimately, let's be the hands of God as they deliver the message, bear witness to the real message that the light has come. Thanks for being here. Come back tomorrow. There'll be more.